Welcome to the Quantum Shift podcast, where we explore the stories, insights, and transformations of people who are creating meaningful impact in the world. A quantum shift is a significant change in perspective, direction, identity, or circumstance that moves you to a new level of possibility. I'm your host, Keren Kilgore, author, coach, publisher, and founder of Quantum Shift Media, where our mission is to help people unlock their full potential and share their message with the world. Each episode, I sit down with authors, coaches, speakers, and business owners who are making a difference, one bold shift at a time. So whether you're ready to launch your book, expand your influence, or create a quantum shift, you're in the right place. Our guest is Cheri Bergeron, and welcome, Cheri. So happy to have you. So
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
very good. So tell us a little bit about you and the work you do.
Well, I didn't set out to do this work at all. I think, life chose this path for me. I was actually a marketing executive in high tech for 30 years, but somewhere along the way, I decided that I wanted to explore motherhood. But and I was a person who was used to being very capable in my career. I enjoyed financial independence and adventure and fulfillment through my career. And I always thought I would have a family someday. I thought I would just naturally meet someone and then get pregnant easily, kind of like my mother and father did. But what I found is as I went through my career, I was very successful there, but I felt very powerless to create the family that I wanted. And that set me upon a 10-year journey of infertility and seeking the family that I wanted. I ultimately ended up having my children as a single mother by choice at 44 and 2 weeks from my 47th birthday.
Wow. Wow.
And what I realized was that I didn't get a lot of important information about how to build a family from my feminist roots. I
Mm,
knew how to build a career, but
mm.
I really didn't have the information I needed about reproductive timelines and things like that. So my passion now is making sure that young people know what their options are and can break free from maybe limiting fairy tales that they're carrying.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. So, so what was the defining moment that got you into what you're doing now? I mean, was there a moment in time where that occurred to you? Yeah.
There were a couple. I mean, one was sitting in the fertility doctor's office
Oh,
at 40,
yeah.
learning the realities of fertility.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, I didn't know that our fertility started to decline at 30. I didn't know that it really nosedived
Mm,
in our mid 30s. And so sitting there at 40, I was faced with some really difficult realities. And I thought, I'm an intelligent, educated woman. How did I miss this memo? And
yeah.
it really
Yeah.
caused me to peel back the layers of the onion
Uh,
and try to figure out where these messages had come from. So it was a real journey of introspection, but it also then became this big journey through IVF, in vitro fertilization, and the cycle of hope and heartbreak there
yeah.
that led to
Yeah.
donor conception and child loss and all of those kinds of things. And when I got to the end of it, I thought, I
Yeah.
don't want another woman to be blindsided, to
Yes.
feel
Yes.
blindsided or even betrayed by the
Yes.
messages that we get in our culture. We're always taught sex education, which is don't get pregnant, but we're never taught how to intentionally build the families we want.
Yes.
And I
Beautiful.
think we're overdue.
Beautiful. That is, Cherie, that is beautiful. Really beautiful. Um, so, and you have a book on this. You've written a book. Talk about your book about it. Yeah.
Now, the book's behind me, available on Amazon. It's really about what I wish I had known,
Okay.
a journey, kind of as if you were two girlfriends talking in a dimly lit restaurant with a big bottle of red wine, to really share the most intimate realities of what it's like to experience infertility. And so the message there, certainly for the 1 in 6 adults who are going through infertility globally, is that you're not alone and there's people that understand that struggle. But for
Mm-hmm.
the younger generations, it's about you can proactively plan this. You
Mhm.
can't choose every circumstance, but you can get really clear on what your values are, and you can make a plan for different roads to parenthood along the way. And so this is really about empowerment, asking, getting clear about what your priorities are, asking intentional questions about your fertility and timelines and options, and then believing you can create that beautiful family, even if it looks
Yeah.
different than the traditional one.
Beautiful. Absolutely. You're filling a need that is really emotionally very deep emotion, filled with absolutely deep emotion. Our daughter had two children with IVF, and I know what the process was like, and it
Oh,
is
I'm so
not easy. It's not
yeah,
easy. I mean, so many
yeah.
tears and so much disappointment, and then that one didn't work, and do it again, and all the shots and lined up all the stuff on the count. It was just unbelievable. And the desire for a family is really, really powerful. And I just, I commend you for doing that and for how you're advocating for people. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Well, thank you. I
So,
think we take our fertility for granted.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think, as we said, we just believe it's going to happen easily, and then when it doesn't, it creates this crisis of identity.
yeah,
Who am I if I can't do this?
yeah,
And also self-blame. What mistakes did I
yes,
make that have
yeah,
led me to this
yeah.
path?
Yeah,
And
which
and
had
there are,
nothing to do with you. Yeah, nothing.
I
Absolutely.
mean, but let's put it this way, biology isn't our friend necessarily in terms of as we get older.
Right,
And so
right,
that's
right,
why I
right.
think even if we want to delay
Yeah.
parenthood for whatever reason, which is fine, we can still be proactive in the steps that we take.
Beautiful, beautiful. How has this journey changed you emotionally, spiritually, professionally? How is it, what impact has it had on you?
I mean, we need another show for that. But it has changed me in every way possible and for the better. I will say that going through things like child loss are some of the most difficult things that someone can go through.
Yeah,
Um, when I decided that I wanted to pursue motherhood, it was really also a decision that I was going to choose legacy over what I thought my career impact was. I wanted something that was more enduring. And so that in and of itself was a big realization and a step in a different direction. I stepped back from executive boardrooms and travel because I knew that that was going to be fleeting and that what I wanted to build was far more long lasting and
beautiful,
deeper and more fulfilling. And
beautiful.
then when it was so hard, it was such a crisis of faith
Hmm. Yeah,
because I felt that I had a very strong desire to be a mother. I felt it was part of my purpose. And I believe spiritually that God wants to give us the desires of our heart. But when it wasn't happening, I started to question that. And I thought, are you working with me or against me?
yeah,
And when you try to have that, you're used to making things happen and then you can't make this huge thing happen.
right.
It's just a powerlessness
Yeah.
that really brings you to your knees.
And it's the thing
And it
you
was
want.
only
Yeah,
after I persevered.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. No, keep
Well,
going. After you, yeah,
I was just going to say that when I finally got the family that I wanted
yeah,
and I looked back, I saw all the ways that God had been supporting me
yes,
through this journey with the
yes,
people and the circumstances. And
yeah,
and I call them tender mercies, and I talk about it a lot in the book.
yeah,
It really revived my faith. It gave a much deeper
yeah,
appreciation for the way that God was working in my life. And I say that, there's something called post-traumatic growth that we actually, because we have this trauma, we don't grow because of the trauma. Well, in spite of the trauma, we grow because of the trauma. It helps
yeah,
form us and
yeah,
who we're going to be. And I
yeah,
wouldn't have this mission if it hadn't been for all of those experiences.
yeah.
So I'm grateful because today I get to do the things I love every day. So it's a gift.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's something you want so, so much I often talk that what you focus on expands. And
Mm.
so when you're wanting a family and your desire is so deep for a family and it's not coming, and you think it should come when, now, but the universe is putting all the pieces together and the timing is always perfect. It's just the process of waiting in the middle of that that's so hard.
It
So,
is very hard.
so
And
hard.
and it's often, I didn't know that every no wasn't actually a no, it was a not yet.
Yes, beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
so I think
Beautiful.
that's really the
Yeah,
journey of faith
good.
is to persevere through that.
But beautiful. So what mindset advice or what would you offer to listeners that might be in the same, position? What would you say to them?
Well, I'd say the first thing is that if you feel in your heart that you were meant to become a mother, I want to encourage you. I want to say that you can absolutely achieve the desires of your heart. It may look different than what you anticipated, but I believe that it's a journey of love. And if you follow where that path leads, then I believe that you will achieve it. And so I think that is the case in so many things. If our heart is in the right place and we're willing to take the steps and persevere, then I do believe that we can achieve those dreams. And don't let anyone talk you out of your purpose. I think I had family members that were not supportive of the idea of IVF. They had different, more conservative views and said I was playing God. And I said, no,
Mm,
I'm partnering with God because I believe that this is
beautiful.
what I'm meant to do. And so I feel sad when people allow others to talk them out of what they know inside is their purpose. So just trust yourself.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Gosh, Cherie, that's beautiful. And I can feel that. You're really speaking to somebody's inner being when you say that. That's really beautiful. So, what breakthrough or story or what are you celebrating? Like, what's something you're celebrating that's been really great?
Oh my gosh, every day I celebrate. So what I realized was as I went into this new pursuit and I have the nonprofit, that
Yeah,
Cherie's Choice that actually, so I have the book that shares my experience, but the nonprofit is about helping women proactively plan their path to motherhood, understand what their priorities are, their desires, and make a plan. So every day I get to help women with that. But when I was thinking about it, it was like, wow, I have so many things I need to do, and I'm starting this in my 50s. I'm so behind. And what I realized was it's one life at a time. And
yes.
I don't have to focus on world domination the way that I did in my career, right? I need to focus on impacting one life at a time. And what we know is that the ripple effects of impacting one life, one woman who decides to make a plan and ultimately has her children, what are the ripple effects of that?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so that's my focus now. But I had to work on myself to
Yeah.
change my what I was measuring. And so I celebrate getting to connect with one person at a time and hopefully make an impact.
Great. Great. And I was going to ask, what ripple effect are you leaving? So you just brought it up. Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, and I have two
Yeah.
wonderful children, and
Yes.
even though my path looks
Yeah.
different than the traditional, I am grateful every day for the family that I have and that I got to experience this journey of motherhood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So your nonprofit helps women who are in this process and you consult with them. How do you work with them?
I provide workshops. So I
Okay.
have two passions. One is going out to the universities and speaking
Okay.
with young women who never, just
Great.
like me, where there's no place in our education system where you get this memo about reproductive
Right.
timelines. So if you have a group at a university and you'd like me to come, please connect with me through
Right.
Cherie's Choice. But
Right.
then also those women or career women in their 20s and 30s, I offer workshops for that clarity.
Right.
So let's get clear on what your values are and what your priorities are, and then understand what the options are to build a family and
Right.
start to make some of those
Right.
plans.
Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I'll put them in the show notes, how to contact you in the show notes. Um, and so you hold courses and do you work one-on-one with people?
I'm happy to have a conversation with someone. As I said, this is about my mission. And so
Right.
I do take one-on-one calls. And if somebody wants to work through some of the workshop material in a guided way, I can certainly do that too.
Got it. Beautiful. And so, what's one thing you want listeners to remember from our conversation?
I want you to remember that the goal of motherhood is achievable and it is within your power to intentionally plan your path. And so that's, I think a lot of times based on the ideas that we have, we feel that we don't have options. I want to reassure you that you do
Yeah,
and that you can make your dreams of family come true.
yeah. You do have a choice. Yeah, and your desires matter. That's very good. Beautiful, beautiful. Cherie,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being with us today. It's been a joy. I love your energy. I love your mission. I love your passion. It's beautiful. You're in your spot.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
You're in your zone of genius. It's really good. Really good.
Well, you're
Really
the one that's making my day today then. Thank you.
very good. So thank you for joining us today on the Quantum Shift podcast. I hope this conversation sparks something within you, a reminder that your story, your voice, and your purpose have the power to shift not only your life, but the world around you. If you're ready to unlock your potential and share your message in a bigger way, I invite you to connect with me at quantumshiftmedia.com. Together, we'll transform your story into impact, income, and inspiration for others. Until next time, keep creating, keep rising, and remember every moment is an opportunity to make your own quantum shift.